Hey sisters, Claire McAuliffe here, and I am here to talk to you a little bit about today's service project, which is to take on an ecologically minded practice and add it to your routine. And specifically, I'm going to talk about eco-bricking, which is a little bit different than what I'm actually going to be telling you about. It's more of a modification of eco-bricking. Eco-bricking is taking plastic and putting it into a harder plastic so that they can use it to construct things in your community like benches and even actual structures. But my goal here is more or less about plastic sequestration, which simply means trying to take a lot of the film plastic and small plastics out of our landfills that leach into our environment and into the water and into our bloodstream and all that sort of stuff, the microplastics. So this is a super easy process and it has a major impact. So I'm a big fan. What I have here is a pineapple juice bottle, and I have rinsed it out. That's really important. You want to make sure it's clean, that it doesn't have any residue, because it will make mold inside. So you want to make sure it is clean and dry. I had mine sit outside for a little bit, just have the sun bake it a little bit so that it's I know that it's dry. But if you don't have that opportunity, sometimes saving these little silica packs or something similar can come in handy if you're finished rinsing it out, but it's hard to get in there and dry it with a paper towel or any kind of cloth. So sometimes I'll stick one of these in and just wait maybe a day or two and then pour it back out and it's all dry. So that said, I've already started to put a little bit of plastic in here, but I want to talk about what kind of plastics we're looking for. So if you're an Amazon person like me, Amazon Prime, you probably get some things like this. The fully plastic ones are actually store drop-off plastic bags. So this is not something that you would necessarily want to eco-brick because it is recycling friendly. So you can drop this off at your Target or your grocery store that participates in special plastic bag recycling. That goes for these kinds of grocery bags as well. You can drop them off. They usually have special receptacles that you can do. But yeah, it's annoying because you can't recycle it from your house. But there are special ways to drop off. We keep in a big bag, and we just put all of those kind of plastic bags and plastic delivery mailers, and then we drop it off at our grocery store when you go next to get food. So that said, this is what a almost completed eco brick looks like. Mine actually needs to be packed a little bit more, just because you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like some space in there. And the whole point is to really, really compact it so that it is hard. That way, none of the film is leaching out. It's trapped in here, and it's not going to go anywhere in your landfill. So the whole idea also is it's going to reduce the size of landfills. If you think about it, if you gently layer a bunch of feathers, it's going to be a big mound. But if you compact it into something really, really small, it takes up a lot less volume. So this is a completed one almost, and so I'm going to tell you what I do like to put in to the eco bricks. So here's my lovely English muffin wrapper. It's absolutely not recyclable, so that's a sad thing. So otherwise, most of us would just stick this in the trash. But with eco bricking, you can stick it in here, and you just feed it in. And again, once you get closer, you're gonna start really, really compacting it. You'll need something like a stick, or this is just an envelope opener, and then just kind of stuff it down so that you can really get it packed in there. And it's amazing how long this lasts. We have it in our closet, like pantry, because it just takes forever to fill one. So this one I've had for at least 2 months, and I have multiple ones going at the same time. But this one, for example, like this is a really large film, and you saw how it was almost full, but I'm stuffing it in. Da 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 da. And you want to keep the lids too, obviously, for these bottles, because you can seal it by the end. So yeah, this is making lots of progress. I'm able to kind of fill in those spaces. There's some cling wrap in here. Again, it's super important to try to get it as clean as possible so it's not, making mold. Another great candidate, not only is the wrapper for the English muffin, but these little doodads. too tiny to recycle for pretty much, and they're pretty brittle, so I usually stick these in here as well. And if they don't fit, just cut them up. So in this case, I can just like cut it in half, voila, well, not voila, goodness gracious. There you go. All right, now it's in there. Another great candidate is receipts. A lot of people think you can recycle them because they think of them as paper, but receipts are actually not paper. They're a heat-based kind of plastic paper. So if you don't save your receipts, and if you're anybody under the age of 40, you probably don't unless you're the treasurer for your chapter and you need them to or something. You're gonna just get rid of these by putting them in your eco brick. Super easy. Again, you can stuff it in there just like anything else. And it's one less plastic just floating around in our environment. So, stuffing that in. Another thing is you're gonna see a lot of wrappers and you're like, I don't even know if this is recyclable. Great, stuff it in your eco brick. As long as it's clean and dry, you can put pretty much anything in here. Clean and dry plastics. I'm gonna go put that in there. Another great candidate, if you don't reuse your Ziploc bag, get a reusable Ziploc bags, and you have some plastic bags, maybe from crafting or something like that, you can easily put Ziploc bags in here. I've even used prescription bottles to do small eco bricking, but I'm gonna really show you how crazy it is to see the volume. Like this wasn't even fully packed, but this is a what is this, coconut? Yeah, unsweetened coconut flakes bag. And obviously I don't think it'll fit very well if I just try to stuff it in. So again, this is another one that you'll want to cut and then stuff in. That way it can be a little bit better formatted for the brick. So what do you do when you're done with it? You can't recycle it because it has non-recyclables in it, but you can throw it away. So this is going to minimize the landfill by putting it in this brick format, and you stick it in your trash and you feel a little bit better about the waste that you have made. Another thing you can do, and this is one of the plans that I have, is you can use it to build things. So for example, I am stuffing these Hint water bottles, and I have put them around like a cardboard, and I'm building an ottoman, like a foot ottoman out of it. And then I'm using some of the, what are they called? It's basically like packing mail, but it's made of like recycled fibers. And so I'm using that as like the cushion. And then I'll be finding a outdoor resistant fabric to upholster it. So it's experimental, that's for sure, but it's something that I'm pretty passionate about, trying to reduce my waste and reduce, reuse, recycle. So hopefully you guys get started on your own eco brick. If you want to get involved in the actual eco brick community, let me know how that goes, because it's pretty cool, and in that the community comes together and can put together some really cool stuff. There's a little bit more strict instructions about that, just because again they don't want mold or anything like that growing in the bottles. But I hope that you pick up a new practice, even if it's not eco bricking, but something that will impact your community positively in a small thing that you can do that can have a big impact. So thanks for your community service participation this weekend, and I hope that you will continue our kindness chain. Enjoy convention. Bye.